Welcome to the following presentation of the Adrenaline Sim Racing Association. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a little bit of a break, but we're finally back here with Season 1 of the ASRA NBC Cup Series, race number 5 here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. I'm Jack Mitchell alongside Kevin Campbell and Connor Hudson in the booth. Gentlemen, we're back at it. Been a short little time off that we've had for these drivers, but we're finally back behind the wheel today. 5 races in now to the regular season. How do we feel?
Pretty good. I mean, we had a nice little break after a eventful race at Circuit of the Americas, to say the least. It's been a good season so far, and I can't wait to get this thing back going. Connor?
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun today. It's been a good season so far, but something about Homestead Miami Speedway, its championship heritage, but then also just how slick the track is, how many different lines you can run. It's always fun when you come down here to Homestead Miami.
Absolutely. You guys are going to see a lot of multi-groove racing. It's going to be pretty exciting, but cars are going to have to be a little bit careful here. That outside wall, especially in turns 3 and 4, can be a little bit tricky, but we'll see what these drivers have to offer for us today. And before we get started, let's go ahead and get an updated look at our points standings. Jack Mitchell, the points leader, with 105 points. Wes Hayes is in second, only 4 points behind, and those are the only 2 drivers so far that have reached triple digits on the season. Thomas Johnson is in third, followed by Wyatt Dooling, Bryce Mann, Blake Garcia, Chase Parent, Alexander Schumacher, Felipe Henriquez, and Blaze McKinney to round out the top 10. Next up, it's Eric Braxton and Anthony Foss, Andrew Anderson, Landon Mills, Connor Hudson, Cole Wilton, Ryan New, Hannes Narager, Jay Mack, and PJ Payne inside the top 20. And of course, the back 10, the guys that are definitely going to need a great finish here today. You got Henry Tabor, David Smith, Ben Fiore, Nicholas Michelini, Reese Kepsky, Kevin Campbell, Shazan Rana, Roberto Crown Jr., Connor DaCosta, and Brody Kepsky. That being said, some names there towards the back of the standings, like Roberto Crown Jr. recently finally got himself out of the basement, but he still needs to string together a couple good finishes in this season so far. We'll see what he can do at Homestead here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get the engines fired.
Drivers, start your engines!
Engines are fired and the cars are rolling off pit road here at Homestead Miami Speedway, so let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup. Altitude Graphics Pole Award winner is Blake Garcia in the 07, Brody Kepsky to his outside. Then it's Roberto Crown Jr., Connor DaCosta, Andrew Anderson, Eric Braxton, Reese Kepsky, Connor Hudson, Alexander Schumacher, and Wes Hayes to round out the top 10. 11th place, your points leader, Jack Mitchell, only 1 spot ahead of Wes Hayes in the point standings, but 1 point behind. Wes Hayes is right behind him in the points, so that's an interesting little quirk at the front of the starting grid. Some other names near the back too, as well. Blaze McKinney in 19th, and then you got Hannes Narager, Ben Fiore, PJ Payne, Bryce Mann, the Daytona 500 winner, a couple more big names at the back of the field. So some big names in the points, definitely a bit more spread out in this one. Again, Roberto Crown Jr., Brody Kepsky, the two of the bottom 3 in the points, both of them are inside the top 3 to start this race.
It'll be interesting to see what happens here throughout these 54 laps here in Miami. To see if some of these guys in the back can make it towards the front, rip the fence.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what they can do, but the pace car has gone on the pit road. And Blake Garcia leads them to the green flag at Homestead Miami Speedway. Down
Through the gears into turn 1. Garcia holding a solid line, however, Crown sticking with him.
Field's going to be a lot stacked together here to start this race, but as things continue along, we should see them spread out a little bit more. One thing we haven't touched on yet, this is supposed to be a day to night race. As you can see, 2 cars go all the way up to the high side of the track. So this track, right now, it's going to be a lot warmer to start things off, but eventually the sun will set, we'll be under the lights, the track will cool down. Roberto Crown Jr. having a look inside of Blake Garcia for the race lead.
And one thing we didn't talk about is the dirty air at this racetrack. It's slick, and it's hard to hold your line. You saw Connor DaCosta there in the other corner slip up. He was right behind 4 other cars, so that's going to be a big factor in this race.
And there he goes again up the racetrack, and we'll see if he keeps that on the wall. No, he doesn't. He goes right up into the wall there. Roberto Crown Jr. can't quite get the pass done, so Blake Garcia will maintain the race lead for the time being. Braxton back there, you can see he was the winner of the race at Rockingham a few weeks ago. And you can see that some of these guys are just kind of, you can see the multi-groove racing already as DaCosta again going up in, near the outside wall. Chazé Rana's up there as well.
That 3 car's got to be careful with that. He's not going to have a right side to finish the race with.
Yeah, he's got to be very careful here. You run into the outside too many times, you're going to damage that race car. And there's another attempt for the lead by Roberto Crown Jr. Still can't quite complete the pass on the 07. The 07 running the longer way around the racetrack, but he's making it work so far.
Most of the field staying pinned to the outside lane right now. We'll see if that forward momentum created by the pack can maybe be the advantage that the 07 is looking for. I think Brody Kupski might be the difference maker here.
Yeah, he's definitely giving him a push right now. That's another thing, too, is that Roberto Crown Jr. doesn't really have any help from any cars on the inside as he washes up the track a little bit, and that's going to be maybe exactly what Roberto Crown Jr. needs. He'll lead this lap.
Oh, 3 wide heading into 1.
Got to keep an eye on that. That's Reese Kupski, sorry, going all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Connor Hudson on the outside. I believe that's Andrew Anderson, I want to say, in the middle of that. And they settle things out. It looks like Reese Kupski wanted to get back in line there, but couldn't quite get the job done. Oh, more cars on the wall. You could hear the 04, I think that was, of Chazé and Rana brushing up against the wall there in the turn 4.
I'd be surprised if there wasn't damage from that. It sounded pretty bad.
I want to kind of see if I can see the outside of the 3 car too, because he was the car that we noticed was brushing up against the wall more often than anybody else. But it looked like he's not really going to matter here, as Wes Hayes is now having an adventure to the outside line. But the 3 car, Connor DaCosta, don't see too much damage on the outside of that car.
I think all he needed was a change in line, and now all of a sudden he's starting to find his footing there on the inside.
Roberto Crown Jr., the race leader right now. He started on pole into Daytona 500, but it's just been a complete catastrophe of the season so far. But he finally picked up a solid finish at Circuit of the Americas in the last race. So he definitely, after a few last place finishes or being the last car on track, he definitely needs a solid result, and the win would certainly help here. But still plenty of race to go. We're on lap 9 now, as we have some 3 wide in the back, a little bit further back in this pack. Again, Reese Kupski trying the way inside of this track.
Just doesn't seem to be working for anybody. That very, very bottom line. We may see it come into play as the race goes on, but right now the top lane and the middle lane, those are the 2 ways to go.
Yeah, right now we're seeing the top lane. These drivers are packing air into that wall, and apparently themselves into that wall if you're Nicholas Michelini. And if they are able to tote that line, it gives them a huge speed advantage.
That it does. One thing also I want to point out too is that during testing of this track, we saw the pit window was about at lap 18 was when these cars first came in for their first pit stops under the green flag. So keep an eye on that as we're on lap 10. Chazé and Rana running right next to Nick Michelini. Those are the 2 cars that have been in the wall as Brody Kupski gets into the wall too. I mentioned at the start of the race, turn 4 was going to be the tricky spot. We're 3 wide, a little bit back. Right behind the points leader, Jack Mitchell, is David Smith, Kevin Campbell, teammates working together.
That dirty air is just nasty. It's killing some drivers' runs, and you can see it every single lap out of 2 and out of 4.
Both of these guys, Kupski and Campbell, Smith and Campbell could use a really good run. They're both 22nd or worse in the points. They need a good day today.
Yeah, that they do. They're going to try the outside here. They tried to go a little bit too high, though, I think, in the 4. Multi-groove racing. You can make any part of the track work as long as you have the right momentum. But I feel like this is trending towards being another race won on pit stops.
I do have to ask, is wall riding illegal in this league? Because it seems like that's the way some of these drivers are going. They're not hitting the wall so much as they're just using it to guide their car out of the corner.
Well, I don't think anybody's trying to pull a Ross Chastain out here, so anything short of that I think is all right here. As Roberto Crown Jr. opened up his gap a little bit.
We're in the business of giving the fans what they want. We're okay with that.
Not sure anybody would complain if something like that were to happen. Kind of saw some similar moves at the Coliseum, but...
If you could wall ride the entirety of Homestead Miami Speedway, you deserve whatever position you're in.
Exactly. And at the Coliseum, we saw an excellent wall ride on the other side of the wall, pulled by Blaze McKinney.
That's right.
Roberto Crown Jr. has opened up to about... It looks right now as of the last scoring loop, it was 0.38, but it looks a lot bigger than that now as he's putting the 0.7 in his rearview mirror. But again, pit stops are not too far away as we're on lap 14 now. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And also keep an eye on the fastest lap so far. That belongs to the 20 of Brody Kepsky. Again, that's a bonus point if you're the fastest lap of the race.
21 car is third from last in the point standings, currently sitting 28th, so a good run is paramount today. But as you said earlier, we are coming up on pit stops. That puts the pressure on both the drivers, making a clean entry and exit, not speeding, and then the crews getting through fast. But right now, that 21 car is doing all the right stuff.
So far, but now, of course, the big test will come on pit road as we see some drivers going 3 wide a little bit behind there. I think that was Felipe Henriquez trying the inside. Too much momentum, though, on that outside lane. Too many cars up there, but he's not really losing too much ground.
I was about to say, that clean air is... When the outside lane starts to slip up a little bit, that's where you pounce. And that 97 is making short work of that outside lane right now.
Keep an eye on the 0-4 again, going the highway into that corner. In turn 4, gets into the wall. That did not sound pleasant. I think we're going to see some guys, when they come to pit road, they're going to spend a little bit of extra time repairing that right side damage on their cars.
I would think so, but also looking at some of these cars, like for how many times they've hit the wall, they all look pretty clean.
For the most part, yeah, these cars are proven to be pretty durable. As we have 2 cars off the pace right now. That's Bryce Mann, the Daytona 500 winner, and the Race 2 winner right behind him, Anthony Foss in the 45. These guys look like they've just lost a draft. I can't really see any damage or anything like that in those cars. And I think pit stops are underway. Saw some cars slow down back there. Oh yeah, a whole lot of takers, including the race leader, Roberto Crown Jr., went on the pit road. Right on cue, lap number 18. That's where they came into pit road for the first time during testing, and that's where they end up right now.
Right now, I'd say those are the 2 to watch, the 21 and the 07. We'll see if they come out the same order, or we'll see if the 07 can get the jump. He does have that first stall.
Yeah, having the first stall will definitely help you, but it looks like the 21 already got onto his right side or his left side tires a lot quicker. Keep an eye on these guys coming off pit road as well. Can anybody beat the 21? No. Great pit stop by that team, Roberto Crown Jr.
By contrast, terrible pit stop for the 07. Loses 2 spots at least.
Handful of other drivers making their way on the pit road. I think Jack Mitchell. Contact on pit road there. 23 of Landon Mills getting into the 27 of Chase Parent. I was going to say Jack Mitchell was the only, looks like the only car to have stayed out, and now he's going to dive on the pit road.
Interesting strategy, Cotton. I wonder if it's going to pay off for him. Probably not.
Maybe not. We're going to have to see where he is in relation to the 21. Yeah, there goes the 21 right by him, so.
Looks like it's going to be a 2-stop race today.
At least. I think the advantage that you have, too, when you pit early is you see all those cars that are stuck on that access road on the pit road. This is one of the few tracks that has, like, that special access road when you exit pit road, so it can slow you down a little bit as you work your way back onto the racetrack. So if you pit early, you're up to speed more when you pass by those guys.
Well, the 21's looking pretty scary right now. Was able to make his way through a little bit of the pack, and then once he got out front, he was gone. So no weaknesses showing right now for Roberto Crown Jr. We'll see if anybody can slow him down on the long run.
We'll have to keep an eye out, but the pack seems pretty spread out so far. Saw some shadows moving on the pace car for a second. I thought the tires were turning there, but it looks like it's just the day to night transition. You can see the track is already getting darker. Jack Mitchell fell down to 8th after that, or at least for the time being. He's probably going to be... Can't find the one car in the standings. 17th. So... Spent a lot of time on pit road, and Roberto Crown Jr. definitely had the advantage over everybody, but now lap traffic, I think that's going to be a thing too, is that we haven't really talked too much about lap traffic this season. It's never really been a factor in too many of these races, but I think there's a good chance it'll be a factor in this one.
Don't look now. The 82 and the 11 both gained about, I think, 0.6 of a second, 0.5 of a second that last lap, so they are closing up.
Yeah, they've got help too. They're racing together. The 21 is kind of a sitting duck all by himself. We don't really talk about the draft too much at this track, but it can still be a factor. All right, Braxton followed by Wes Hayes in the 11 car. Wes Hayes, this will be good for him because he came into this race only 4 points back of Jack Mitchell for the points lead. And as things are standing right now, he's in line to take the points lead away.
Could be a big gain for him, but I don't like him trying to go for the pass. I think you got to work that outside lane, work together to run down the race leader. I mean, they still seem to be running him down, but now I think that 20 car go right on around him. It's going to fall back to 4th. Ultimately, a net loss for the 11.
Checking in on the fastest lap, Ryan New in the 40 car has taken that title away for the time being. Ryan New currently running 20th. He's currently 17th in the point standings. Not too far out from the chase just yet. You got to be top 12 to get into the chase. Go back to the front. Roberto Crown Jr. still pretty substantial lead. It looks like they lost a little bit of time right behind him, but
Connor DaCosta has run down 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
that's something else worth keeping an eye on too, because if these cars form back up here, they've got an even better chance to catch the 21. 21 is going to have to run a picture-perfect race.
Exactly. Just the past couple of laps, they have run him down. I venture to bet they're going to be about 0.3 behind him this lap. Yep. Just about.
Yeah, just under 0.3. Eric Braxton, the race 3 winner at Rockingham. That was a home track win for that 82 team. They definitely felt pretty good about that win. They needed it too, because they were about middle of the pack in the point standings when that win happened, and then it caused them to jump up into 11th place, which is just inside the chase spots in the standings. So here we go. These cars definitely making a gain now through this corner.
Yep. Seeing that dirty air come back into play, you saw the 20 car rush up a little bit. Now that they've caught the 21, it's one thing to catch him, but now they got to pass him. That's going to be a little more difficult.
Absolutely, and it's not going to help that these guys are getting all racy here too as well. They're battling for just 2nd place. Still too wide. 82 looks like he's running a little high. That's an aggressive move by Brody Kepsky. Oh, they are 4 wide at Homestead, Miami. Oh my goodness. I did not see that coming. Did not have that one on the bingo card. Can they keep it straight? Yes, they can. That's honestly the pass of the season by Brody Kepsky so far. What a move by that 20 car.
And it could lead to a pass for the lead. Here he comes.
Yeah, he's got all the momentum in the world. I mentioned he had the fastest lap too before it was taken by the 40 car. So they've got a very quick Ford Dark Horse Mustang. And yeah, he's already challenging for the lead. He'll have the inside of Roberto Crown Jr. 21 has a really good car in the straightaway though.
He almost got him into 3 that time, but we'll have to see if he can get him this time. He's got a huge run coming off of the exit.
Don't overlook Wes Hayes here. If Brody Kepsky tries to make the pass on the inside, but the 11 gets a run, then it'll be impossible for the 20 to make the move. And yeah, he's trying the high side again. Gets into the wall.
He's in the wall. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, he was riding the wall through that whole corner, but he's going to keep it straight.
Also, not to toot my own horn, but here comes Connor Hudson on the inside lane.
There he goes on the inside, that
Hopefully
49 car.
again.
The Connor and Connor show back there.
Brody Kupski finding that momentum on the backstretch. Wes Hayes now is in position to try to take the lead away from Roberto Crown Jr. Nobody's been able to do that just yet. 82 car. Keeps it on the wall. Don't look now. Thomas Johnson is gaining on these guys a little bit. He's got a race win this season too. Something not really at the forefront of anybody's minds right now too, but we're only 2 races away, including this one, from the All-Star race. And you lock yourself into the All-Star race automatically by starting a race on pole or by finding victory lane, of course. So
He's going to get him right here. Here comes the 20.
yeah, there he goes. Brody Kupski, all the momentum on the inside. Can he complete the pass? The 21 car will have a bit of a push, but the 21 car is too fast on his own.
Also, they're going to be pitting here soon, so they got to sort this out.
That they
We
are.
should be about 7 laps away from the pit window if my calculations are correct.
Oh, look
Side
at the
by
first 7
side.
cars, all in a big pack, two lanes. Just, oh my gosh, I love Homestead.
Side by side for the race lead. Brody Kupski, these cars all have a push now. On lap 32, Brody Kupski to the race lead.
Super speedway racing at Homestead.
Trying to be the Pied Piper and lead 2 lanes here with a push from Connor Hudson on the inside.
Don't sleep on that 49 car either. He's got all kinds of momentum going into this corner. Maybe the 21 tagged the wall there. Not quite sure.
How about this performance for Brody Kupski? Last place in the point standings and leading 33 laps into this Homestead Miami race.
And he completed one. Honestly, that was the pass of the season. If we were ranking the passes, to go 4 wide like he did, to work his way into 2nd place and get himself in the position to take the race lead away. It's another caution-free race so far. I'm not really sure if there's a possibility of any cautions in this one again, which is honestly nothing new so far for this season, but
I don't know, when you got the top 8 cars all under a blanket, all within a second of each other.
yeah, I'd say we're getting our money's
never
worth so
know.
far. Connor DaCosta going to try the outside. So
Kind of
is
the only
Blake
place you
Garcia.
can go. But the way the 20 car has been just a lane off the wall, you kind of have to try that very, very outside lane.
I've been wanting to back away and keep an eye on the rest of the field too, but this is just so exciting seeing these leaders running up so close against each other here. Everybody's
Right now,
still
looking like mid-2010s Talladega, just single file right now. But I have a feeling it's going to get a lot more interesting as we creep closer to the pit stops. Look at DaCosta.
again trying the outside.
And you could not fit a tissue between that car and the wall.
Well, we mentioned earlier, Connor DaCosta was the car that at the start of this race was really working his way up into the wall. More often than not, he was brushing against the wall in turn 4, basically more than anybody else, and looks like they were able to mostly fix that damage on pit road. That hasn't stopped DaCosta from trying that line, though, as here comes Connor Hudson now. Definitely gaining some time. Again, the 3 car to the outside, but he can't make it work. Do we have pit stops? Yes, we do. Roberto Crown Jr., the first car on pit road. Again, that 21 car trying to win this race on pit strategy. He won his Daytona dual race the same way.
I like this strategy by these first 5 pitters. They all lost ground to the top 3 on the long run. So now you try to short pit them, get in front of them, and just try to win this race. I like the strategy.
Looks like Eric Braxton down pit road, Alexander Schumacher, Reese Kupski as well, Felipe Henriquez, Hannes Naraga. We haven't really mentioned him too much, as here come the top 3 down pit road as well. And Jack Mitchell again staying out. This time he's got company though. I believe that was Shazan Rana out with him. I can't tell who else that was. We'll keep an eye on the 21 car though. He'll again be the first car off pit road when it comes to these guys.
Another bad stop for Blake Garcia.
Blake Garcia's been
He's losing positions.
using all kinds
They
of
must
time
be
on pit
using
road.
2311 pit crews.
Did David Smith stay out there? Because I've been noticing he's all by himself. Let's keep an eye on some of these guys as well. The 1 car and the 8 car come down pit road. There's a look at the 29 car, the 75, 93. just a jumbled up field here when it comes to pit stops.
Connor Hudson got out ahead of DaCosta, but then I think ahead of him is the 20 car. Yep, there he is. And here comes the 21.
Oh, nearly contact.
Oh my.
What are you doing?
Slow pit stop, slow exit off pit road for Shazam Rana. Does he have a problem?
Oh,
Is he blowing up?
he may be out
He
of gas.
must. He must have something going on.
Not quite sure what happened to that 04 car.
What is he doing? He missed the entry for the access road and is now just taking the apron.
I'll tell you what, he also really held up both the 49 and the 3 on their pit exit. That's going to really hurt their chances at winning this race.
Well, you don't have to go.
You don't eat too much chocolate cake before you race. It just makes you do weird things on the racetrack. And
you don't have to go
to pit road.
You don't have to go down the access road to enter pit road. So he was able to stay out there, but he's gonna lose the race lead. Let's see if we can find out where the 21 car is.
I'll take a look. The 20 is in third. A significant improvement from the last stop. I like his chances right now, but only, I think, 16 laps to go this time, 15.
Just about in that range. I'm surprised that caution didn't come out either for a car that was slow on the backstretch too. He had to make his way all the way around the track without running into anybody. He almost destroyed 2 race cars there.
It is NR. You kind of have to be dying for anything to get thrown.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is true.
So Thomas Johnson, too, is another guy that we haven't talked about too much during this race, but he's worked his way up here into the top 4. He's already got a race win at Circuit of the Americas. Could he go back-to-back? Brody Kepsky has been the car to beat so far. He was the leader going on the pit road. That's the reason why Roberto Crown Jr. is the leader, is because of the short pit strategy. But Brody Kepsky with a nice stop as well gets himself in the 3rd place, and he'll be in position, assuming his car keeps up the performance it's had.
Thinking about the point situation here, Wes Hayes and Thomas Johnson both in a dead heat. And the cruelty for Wes Hayes is that he's stuck behind Roberto Crown Jr. That's just been the case for probably the past 20 or so laps. He burnt up his stuff on the last run trying to get around him, allowed 3 other cars to pass, and now it's Groundhog Day. Same situation, but now he's got his, right now, points rival right in his mirror.
Well, the way Jack Mitchell's running right now, it looks like both of these two are set to overtake him in the point standings, if my math is correct, because Mitchell all the way back in 17th. Wes Hayes, 2nd place in the points, already battling for the race lead once again. And not too much time left of the race, though, as Brody Kepsky is going to go to the inside of the 11. Shazam Rana being
Project
scored a lap
11
down.
to go this time by. Speaking of the points battle, we are going to Armory Digital Super Speedway next week. 4-wide racing the whole race. Points are going to be thrown in a blender, run for about an hour, and poured out, and we'll see what we end up with.
I cannot wait. I love Armory Digital, probably just as much as Connor's been freaking out over Homestead Miami in this race. I really like Armory Digital. It's a fun, action-packed facility, and we can't wait to see these cars in action there in our final race before the All-Star break. Side by side for the race lead. Brody Kepsky to the inside of Roberto Crown Jr. Roberto Crown Jr. has the cars behind him. He's got the help of the draft, but the 20 car has just been so strong all by himself as he's going to fight to try and take the race lead away going into 3 and 4. And he will complete the pass. Brody Kepsky, the new race leader, at least for the time being, but now the 21 car has a run down the front stretch. Roberto Crown Jr. not going to go down without a fight here. 2 of the bottom 3 in the point standings battling for the race win. This is the kind of stuff you love to see. All kinds of parity.
The other 2 are in the top 3.
Thomas Johnson trying to see if he can make something happen to go back-to-back, but I don't think he's quite in position to do that just yet.
Meanwhile, it seems like the pack has formed up behind them, being led by the number 82 car of Eric Braxton, but not able to make a stab at the lead right now as things stand.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough time left.
Back there.
Just don't think there's enough time left for this backpack to really catch the leaders. They're just too far back. The top 4 definitely the strongest cars out there so far, but a good run for them nonetheless. This is going to help Connor DaCosta on the points. It's going to help Eric Braxton. Some contact in the wall there. But our focus is going to be on this top 4. And right now, Brody Kupski is pulling away all the momentum in the world. Really, really, really strong number 20 car today.
Wes Hayes has got to be getting frustrated and feeling the pressure right now. Stared at the same bumper for the past 30 or so laps. And
oh,
now
not staring at it anymore.
51, yeah.
I think it was the 51, though, that hit the wall, not the 11.
Right. That was a wall ride right there. That had he was riding the wall pretty much all the way around 4. Still able to maintain momentum.
Everybody's been able to do that the whole race so far. Another one that looks like it's going to have been decided on pit strategy, and it looked like the 20 car. I mean, you could argue pit strategy also, but the 20 car was just beating them on the track too. It didn't really matter where he came out in relation to the other cars on pit road. Again, he pulled a 4-wide pass. We're definitely going to have to go and take a look at that replay after the race, after the checkered flag. We're going to have to see that 4-wide pass again, because my goodness.
Way to face adversity there. Shahzain Rana on pit exit. Not really sure what the 04 was doing, but still was able to get around him very quickly, something that Connor Hudson and DaCosta weren't able to do. And I think that was the difference maker right there.
Just about. Shahzain Rana still being scored a lap down. I'm not even sure if he's on the racetrack. Let's see if we can find the 04 anywhere. There he is. So still running, but only car a lap down. Not really going to salvage a good points day out of this. And he's all the way back in 27th in the point standings, so probably going to take a hit here. It's 51 car of Thomas Johnson in the wall again. That's really going to hurt his chances at trying to fight for the win here. Yeah, you can already see he's losing momentum now to the rest of the top 3. Again, still going to be a solid point showing for that team, though.
For sure. 3 to go. Anything can happen, but I think the 20's got this in hand right now.
Absolutely. Get one quick.
Commanding 1 second lead for Brody Kupski here with 3 laps left. Coming to 2 to go. Just an amazing showing for a team that has struggled so badly this season.
These drivers here in this mid-pack here are going to get some good results as well. Chase Parent, Blake Garcia, the pole sitter, he's all the way back in, I'm not even sure, 11th place. So not a terrible points day for those guys. But we're going to keep our eyes on the race leader, Brody Kupski, now. He is heading on to turn 4 and onto the front stretch to see the white flag waving. Sight he's been waiting for now.
Well, Wes Hayes finally making a run to the inside of the 21 car for second.
Can he complete the pass? We'll have to keep an eye on that battle. Not quite sure he's going to make it.
Oh, the 51's going to push him back by him. Oh, and he might beat him to the line.
He might, but it's none of them is going to be feeling as happy as the 20 car of Brody Kupski, who comes to the checkered flag, and he will win at Homestead Miami Speedway in the Dixie Vodka 400. And I believe Roberto Crown Jr. did, in fact, beat him to the line. And yeah, Wes Hayes got beat to the line, too, by Thomas Johnson. That is going to hurt.
A race.
When you look at a championship and you look back at every race, every building block that led to the last race, you think about things like that. Now, Wes Hayes just has to hope that doesn't haunt him later on this season.
Now, I will say, it's going to hurt Wes Hayes, but considering where he finished and where Jack Mitchell finished, I believe that is going to give Wes Hayes the points lead. So, consolation prize out of this one, if anything. But today, it's all about a fantastic run from that Target Ford Dark Horse Mustang of Brody Kupski. Eagle Motorsports getting a win on the season.
First win of the series for that team.
They are going to be really, really, really excited about that one. Finally, should bring them out of the basement in the point standings. Although Connor DaCosta also with a solid finish as well. He's second to last in the points. He brings it home in 6th.
And he did a whale of a job bringing it back through the field. I think he was stuck with Connor Hudson in that deal with Shazane Rana and went from probably around 12th to 6th.
All right, before we take a look at our finishing results, we're going to go ahead and take a look at a replay and see that 4 wide pass that Brody made. That was the move of the race, on all honesty. Here's a look at the replay of Brody Kupski making that epic 4 wide pass. You can see he gives the 82 of Eric Braxton a push, and then he cuts to the inside, has no concern whatsoever that there are 2 cars right on his inside.
Yeah, you could see the moment where Kupski and DaCosta both had the same idea at the same time. And that's what creates these magical moments like these and sets up race-winning passes.
Absolutely. We're not going to see the full pass here, but that is basically the move that led to the win from Brody Kupski. Fantastic job by that 20 team. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our full finishing results. Taking a look at our full finishing results, Brody Kupski bringing home the win. Roberto Crown Jr. in 2nd, followed by Thomas Johnson, Wes Hayes, Eric Braxton, Connor DaCosta, Anthony Foss, Blaze McKinney, Chase Parent, and David Smith. We didn't talk about that 15 car a whole lot, but he rounds out the top 10. Great showing for that 15 team. Next up, it's Connor Hudson, followed by Nick Michelini, Blake Garcia, Jack Mitchell, Henry Tabor, PJ Payne, Hannes Narager, Andrew Anderson, Alexander Schumacher, and Cole Wilson to round out the top 20. And then the last 10 cars on track with a 29 of Wyatt Dueling, followed by Ryan New, Felipe Henriquez, Reese Kupski, Kevin Campbell, Bryce Mann, J Mac, Ben Fiore, Landon Mills, and Shazane Rana. Finished the race, but he was the only car a lap down. Taking a look at the up-to-date point standings, and we do in fact have a change for the points lead. Wes Hayes takes the lead over Jack Mitchell, now 5 points out of lead. So Wes Hayes has 128, Jack Mitchell 123, followed by Thomas Johnson, another strong showing for that 51 team. And then you got Chase Parent, followed by Blake Garcia, Wyatt Dueling, Eric Braxton, Alexander Schumacher, Blaze McKinney, and Bryce Mann to round out the top 10. And of course, we've got the tie in the points for the points as well between Chase Parent and Blake Garcia. Both of them have 105. So starting to heat up at the top. 5 drivers now with over triple digits in the points. And we got Anthony Foss, Connor Hudson, Andrew Anderson, Felipe Henriquez, Cole Wilton, PJ Payne, Hannes Narager, Henry Tabor, David Smith, and Ryan New in the top 20. In the back 10, it's Landon Mills, J Mac, Roberto Crown Jr., Nick Michelini, Connor DaCosta, Brody Kupski, his brother Reese Kupski, Ben Fiore, Kevin Campbell, and Shazane Rana now last in points. So Brody Kupski able to get out of last place with that win. That's exactly what he needed. Came at the right time. All right, gentlemen, any final thoughts on this one? Pretty exciting showing at Homestead.
I think we saw a fantastic race, and I cannot wait for Armory Digital. I think we built a lot of positive momentum, and I'm really excited. How about you, Connor?
Oh, I thought it was a great race. It lived up to all the hype. I love that moment where all those cars in the front were under a blanket. It reminded me of the NASCAR Cup Series at Atlanta in 01. I think we saw the cream rise to the top, and we also saw an unexpected winner and some unexpected front runners. So pretty much everything you could ask for from Homestead.
Just about. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up from the Homestead Miami Speedway for the Dixie Vodka 400. We are heading back to the Super Speedway next week. We go to the Armory Digital Super Speedway for the Adidas Space Needle 500. Should be a very exciting race. It's our final race of the first half of the regular season before we take a little bit of fun time off and have the All-Star race at Charlotte. So we're looking forward to all that coming up soon. But in the meantime, if you guys enjoyed what you saw, be sure to click the like button and subscribe to the ASRA YouTube channel. We've got a full season still to go of the ASRA NBC Cup Series, so we look forward to seeing you join us on the ride. You can also follow us on social media at ASRA Sim Racing, and the link to our Discord server is in the description if you want to stay informed. But that's going to do it for now, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching this presentation of the Adrenaline Sim Racing Association.